Tommy, the obviously transition from sort of rugby player to what you're doing now is a significant one, and you've done obviously amazing bits of punditry over the last little while, and other bits of TV presenting. But it's very different, isn't it? What you're about to jump into here.
Yeah, live television. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about it, but no, I'm excited. I'm really excited. I think a few years ago, I was trying to think where do I want to go? What do I want to do after rugby? And there is the punditry role, which is available to a lot of players whenever they do retire, and that's something I've enjoyed. And those few chances that I've got a chance to do it, it's great to give a bit of an insight. Great to be at matches. Great to be involved and talk about the game. But for me, I wanted to make something a little bit more long term, and I think that looking into presenting, looking into broadcasting is a whole new challenge. Something that I'm only starting to learn, between auto cue, actually learning to read again and read out loud. I mean, who does that anymore unless you're talking to your kids? Feedback in the ear, having 3, 4, 5 different people talk. So it's totally new challenge. But I'm getting the opportunity to go back, to get pitch side for the Munster match this weekend, to cover the Leinster against Cardiff this weekend, to cover the whole Pro 14. It's where I wanted to be. It's come really fast, but I'm really, really excited about it, and I think I'm in a good position for it.
I bumped into Mole, an insider earlier on, who said he's a natural, was the expression they used, so you can take good comfort from that. Do you think, will you bring any of your punditry to the presenting role, or how are you going to make it your own, or how do you see that sort of panning out?
Yeah, at the start, I think it's important for me to just kind of get used to it, get into it, and get rolling. I'd say probably one of my biggest challenges will be the fact that I'll want to give a little bit more information. That in talking to Donncha and Luke, I will know what they're talking about. I'll have been in those meetings. Have been on the pitch. So for me to almost step back and to be able to ask the questions and lead it will be kind of a bit of a learning curve for me, because I'll want to give input. I'll want to try and give my say, but I think it's important to try and step back as well, to listen to what they're saying and try and give small bits of input, and also guide it in the knowledge that I have. Having been on the pitch, say this weekend with Cardiff Blues in the Cardiff Arms Park, I played in that synthetic pitch. I know what a great surface it is like to play on, how amazing it is to run out through that tunnel there, how small the change rooms are. So small bits of feedback like that, I think, will hopefully help the viewer and I suppose add a little element that I can add to it.
What sort of a consumer of rugby are you generally anyway? Are you the sort of guy who's at home sort of with the notepad out looking at it in that way anyway, or are you more like, what's your general sort of consumption level when you're...
My dad and my wife, well, my wife doesn't watch it much with me, but if she does watch rugby, hates it because I have the Sky remote. I can't help but just rewind back. So I never watch it live. It's always 2 or 3 minutes behind.
So you're rewinding back
forever. Just I suppose it's ingrained into us. We do so much video analysis now. There's so many intricacies to teams' plays, to moves, to off the ball things. So yeah, I tend to just watch it, rewind back, watch it again, rewind back. So for anybody else, my neighbour Mike lives across the road from me. I kind of say, "Come on over, we watch the Ireland match."
He's like,
he's actually turned down the last two.
yeah. And what are you looking out for? Is it you're watching specific things maybe and sort of going back to see, is that exactly as I saw it, or what are you rewinding for?
Yeah, there's so much going on in the game of rugby now, and for me, I'm not trying to teach anybody. It's for me to learn. So I'm actually watching. For instance, in Ireland and the Six Nations last year, I wasn't involved in it, so I got to watch it. And to see some of the small little changes that Joe has added to different moves, to plays, to game plans. When I'm watching Leinster, to see things that Johnny and Rob do that I know that they've done for years, but that they've, teams constantly evolve, constantly change things. And, I've been there, being a part of it. you know, you will get left behind, so it's a case of trying to stay on top of it.
Yeah, that is difficult because we obviously work with a bunch of professional and amateur sports people that have come out the other side of the game, and that challenge of sort of, there's an immediate relevancy for a year or 2 years afterwards, and then exactly like you're saying, the thing moves on so quickly.
Very quick.
But actually that challenge of sort of, and you don't always want to be on to your former teammates or coaches kind of going, oh hey, like what's happening there? I mean,
I think so. I think that having a good relationship with them, and that's something that Eir Sport are very keen on doing, that we want to push the game, we want to push the Pro 14, and we want to push Irish rugby. So for us, we're not trying to hang out the provinces, we want to get access to them, we want to turn up at training, we want to get the guys to come and give us interviews and give us little nuggets, because that's what the viewers want to see. And we want to try and promote them and make it as enjoyable as we can for them. So yeah, I think in the past, some of the provinces are maybe a little bit protected because they don't want to give away too many secrets. But for us, having the likes of myself, Donncha, Luke, you know, we're quite open. We're still very friendly with a lot of the guys. So I think it'll give us a good opportunity to get a little bit insider information and try and give it out to the general public.
Thanks a million for watching. If you want to subscribe, well, there's the button right there. If you want to see more videos, hit that down there.